Exactly 14 minutes after 7, we're talking about lupus or autoimmune disorders. One lady who has a lot to share on this particular subject is joining me, Oyemam Danso, who is the founder of Oyemam Autoimmune, and you can call her simply Sweetness. Good morning to you.
Good morning,
Sweetness.
Good morning, Ravi.
So what's this disease all about?
Lupus is an autoimmune disorder that affects mostly the joints and other parts of the body through inflammations. Autoimmune basically is a system where the person's immune system gets confused and produces antibodies against their healthy cells. So it fights against, auto is self, and so
instead of fighting against diseases that come,
the pathogens,
it fights against its own self.
It fights against itself.
Okay.
And it's in different forms. It's called a great imitator because it imitates so many other sicknesses. It's not easy to diagnose. Today, it may look like a headache. Tomorrow, it will look like a joint pain. The next time, it will look like a hypertensive kind of sickness because it can affect any part of the body and it comes in different severities.
Yeah. I'm told that you have a personal story to share. There's a reason you're passionate about this subject.
Yes. I suffered from lupus for about 8 years.
Okay.
And at the time that it happened, I was so ignorant about it. So I went through various cycles of frustration, depression, anger, bitterness, because I could not fathom what I was going through.
What were you exhibiting?
Why it was happening to me. I have had different kinds of symptoms over the years. There have been times that I have had loss of hair. There have been times that I've had ulcers. There have been so many times of having extreme muscular pains, joint pains, swellings, skin deteriorations. There have been times that I've had blood clots. So it keeps changing all the time.
So how difficult was it for you to be diagnosed?
Well, the confirmation actually was gotten after 8 years.
After 8 years? Wow. But before that, what did different doctors tell you?
Before that, my doctor told me that it was an autoimmune related sickness.
Okay.
You know, but interestingly, the first time I went to the hospital, the doctor said it was carpal tunnel syndrome because I had started feeling all these pains in my wrist and my finger joints. So they said it was carpal tunnel syndrome and gave me some pain medications as well as wrist splints to put on and all that. But then it came also into my feet.
Okay.
So then I was out of Ghana then, so I just prayed to God that, you know what, I don't know what is happening. Maybe it's my malaria, so wait and let me get to Ghana where I can get malaria drugs and then I will be fine. And I came here and had a very terrible crisis, and through that we came to a conclusion that it was related to an autoimmune kind of disorder, but it was not for certain.
Is this common in Ghana?
Interestingly, yes. Before, I thought it was a foreign kind of disorder that people in the West have, because in the West it's very prevalent among African Americans. However, until I got to become aware of it, then I realized that quite a lot of people in Ghana have it. And interestingly, it's a silent killer because it's not easy to diagnose, and also even when people are diagnosed with it, it is really expensive to manage and bring, you know, under control.
So are you completely off it, or it's something that you have to manage? It cannot be cured?
It is chronic, and so that means that if you're diagnosed with it, according to medical science, you have to live with it for the rest of your life.
Okay.
You just have to manage it to bring it under control. But I say that your outlook on life determines what you get from it. So I always have a positive approach to it and tell myself that despite the fact that I take medications, I am healed and I'm going to get off the medications. But I have gotten off the medications on my own several times and had very life-threatening flares, you know, and so
So it's not good to be off it?
You have to be on the medications. And my pastor told me that I should not tell God how to heal me. I should do what I have to do and let him use his own way of healing me.
True.
Yes.
Is that something that you're not able to do because of this disorder?
Yes. The reason why lupus needs much attention is because the very things that others are able to do easily every day becomes so difficult for you to do. It completely reduces your quality of life. For instance, I've had instances where even scratching my scalp was the most difficult thing in the world.
Really? Because you couldn't reach it?
I could not lift my hand to scratch it, and then I'll be telling probably my husband to scratch my scalp, and he'll be scratching the wrong part because he doesn't know where I'm itching, and that is very frustrating. I've had instances where I could not open my mouth wide enough to bite a small piece of banana. First of all, I had all ulcers, so even water burns in your mouth, and then you cannot open wide enough to even brush your teeth or do any kind of thing. And you have extreme fatigue for nothing. You have just basic thing, being able to wash, being able to, you know, handle yourself, and being able to take your own bath.
So you simply can't do it.
You just feel like you are tied up. You know, one time I was lying on bed and I asked myself, what's the use of having hands and legs when I can't use them? And I was so mad, and later on, after just crying and crying, I just told myself that, look, at least I'm not amputated. I still have them. When the pains go away, I will still be a complete human being. So no matter the condition I was in, there was still reason to be grateful for life.
Sure. But now you want to help others. You want to reach out to others.
I want to do that. So my husband and I have established Oyemam Autoimmune Foundation. And Oyemam Autoimmune Foundation basically has 4 main thematic areas: fundraising, advocacy, education, and medical assistance for needy people going through that.
Okay.
When I got pregnant, I had no clue, first of all, that I was pregnant, because knowing that with such condition, getting pregnant was extremely risky. I always played it safe, but strangely enough, I got to find out 3.5 months later that I was pregnant, and I started having abnormal blood clots, and that was threatening the life of the baby and my life. But thankfully, God made ways for me to get help outside of Ghana. And with the experiences I had, I realized that we don't have that much support here for people. I am very certain I would have died, because even the manner in which a doctor spoke to me in one of the major hospitals in this nation really depressed me. And I was so disappointed. I had to run to go and seek solace somewhere else. And I realized that people need to be made aware so that others can bear with them. Okay. For example, if you are an employer, you need to understand that your employees' commitments and plans and schedules may change because the disease is very unpredictable. And so this is what we are doing, and also using the media, talking to different people, medical experts, pharmaceuticals, individuals, to come out to support other people that may go through it.
So how can people reach your foundation?
People can get to Oyemam Foundation through our mobile number, which is 0243 145 616, and also our Facebook page, which is Oyemam Autoimmune Foundation, just the name, and also through the email, which is oyemamfoundation@gmail.com. So these, or you can get to our website also, which is oyemamfoundation.org, and get in touch and see how you can support. It does not necessarily have to be money. It can be adopting a patient, because lupus affects mainly females within the bracket of 15 to 44 years. And because there's no known cause, it does not have to be in your family history. It can just creep up on you at any point within that.
Okay.
So it is in our own interest to support each other, so that in case it should happen to someone close by you, you are well informed and prepared, and you have also invested to make sure that there's help in case they should need it.
All right, Sweetness, we have to leave it here, but I appreciate you sharing your personal stories with us, and we hope that people would reach out to these platforms that you've given so that we can all help and support ourselves.
Sure.
Thanks a lot for coming.